Welcome back. Today I'll be watching this clip right here, the best of Wong, and this is because a few days ago someone told me to check this out because we were talking about how some of the top comedians are not actually funny at all. So someone told me to watch this, and this is what I'm doing right now. So let's check this out.
So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am 7.5 months pregnant. Yeah. It's very rare and unusual to see a female comic perform pregnant because female comics don't get pregnant. Just try to think of one. I dare you. There's none of them. Once they do get pregnant, they generally disappear. That's not the case with male comics. Once they have a baby, they'll get up on stage a week afterwards and they'll be like, guys, I just had this fucking baby. That baby's a little piece of shit. It's so annoying and boring. And all these other shitty dads in the audience are like, that's hilarious. I identify. And their fame just swells because they become this relatable family funny man all of a sudden. Meanwhile, the mom is at home chapping her nipples, feeding the fucking baby, and wearing a frozen diaper because her pussy needs to heal.
Whoa. Hold on. Like, where is the joke? Because okay, let's just go back a little bit because uh, since she started talking, I'm still waiting for the joke, but now it has gone into this rabbit hole, which is more of a complaint. It seems like she's in some forum for women to voice out their frustrations, but in life. But I'm waiting for the joke. It has gotten so intense without. No, I'm not getting this. When she talked about female comedians not getting pregnant, I was waiting like for a quick joke or something to check about. But now it has taken a dark twist.
So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am 7.5 months pregnant. Yeah.
Good opening.
It's very rare and unusual to see a female comic perform pregnant.
Yeah, you see right there, setting up a joke like how stand-up comedians do. Right there, I was expecting that to be followed by something silly or something that will, a quick line to make the people laugh. But
because female comics don't get pregnant.
was that the joke or was that the line?
Just try to
That's
think
it.
of one. I dare you. There's none of them. Once they do get pregnant, they generally disappear. That's not the case with male comics. Once they have a baby, they'll get up on stage a week afterwards and they'll be like, guys, I just had this fucking baby. That baby's a little piece of shit. It's so
Yeah.
annoying
No.
and boring. And all
No
these
one
other
speaks
shitty
like
dads in
that.
the audience are like, that's hilarious. I identify. And their fame just swells because they become this relatable family funny man all of a sudden. Meanwhile,
You see what I'm talking about. She's more of complaining about something. I think it's actually something. Okay, I don't know her personally, but she's talking as if it's something like she's going through. You might listen to this more of a like an audience in Dr. Phil or something, rather than an audience in a stand-up comedy. Because because first of all, okay, I understand the difference she's making between men and women, but the audience doesn't respond like that. That yeah, this guy is nice. He's funny. No, the audience doesn't. They just laugh. You are there to make them laugh. So even if you make a sick joke, it's supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be a complaint. Now you making a complaining that men are. What is this?
the mom is at home chapping her nipples, feeding the fucking baby, and wearing a frozen diaper because her pussy needs to heal.
I think she just realized it's not going very well. That's why she just becomes vulgar. And that's when this came up. As I said, we were talking with some friends Because some of these top comedians, what they do is just top female comedians. Most of the time, what they do is that when the joke is not good, they just become vulgar and start talking. And they either talk about poop, feces, or they start talking about genitals or nudity or sex. They don't have like actually authentic joke. There are those jokes like the top comedians like of I don't want to give examples because I don't want to compare, but you know them. These there are top comedians who might even give you a very big story just to make one very big joke, and you might go along with the story, listening, but not when it becomes a a complaint, or it's something like it's a forum for you to pour out all your frustrations. It's no longer a joke.
From
It's
the
no
baby's
longer
head,
funny.
shredding it up. She's busy. It's so sexist when people ask me, well, if you're here, then who's taking care of the baby? Who the fuck do you think is taking care of the baby?
I don't understand even why are people laughing. What is funny about taking care of a baby? I'm not tracking.
Who the fuck do you think is taking care of the baby?
How is that funny?
The TV is taking care of the baby, okay? I'm just waiting for the
Okay,
right
that
moment
might be
to
funny
like
in some
become a
context, but
housewife financially, you know? I want my husband to get us to like a certain point financially. I want to get to the point as a couple where I can comfortably afford sliced mango. I'm talking about that Whole Foods mango, that $10 a box Whole Foods mango that was sliced by white people. That's the kind of income bracket I'm striving for. That's when you know you've made it. When you're eating mango that was sliced by a dude named Noah. I want Noah mango, Rebecca kiwi, Danielle pineapple. You know what else I want? I want to be able to take a stroll on a sidewalk, see a quarter, and just keep on walking. Like a princess.
I don't understand why are people. What is? I'm trying to find out what is so funny because as you can see, the crowd is entertained, but what is so funny? I'm not trying to be negative, but actually, what is funny? I can't find anything funny.
Our nanny is 62 years old. Yes, I would never accept anything younger than 62 years old. If you are hiring a 25-year-old pretty young thing to be your nanny, you a dumbass. Do you not read People magazine? You don't know what's up? That's inviting a marriage grenade into your home. When you have
That's
a
actually
newborn
nice.
baby, your marriage is very weak because you're both stressed out. You look like shit because you don't shower no more. You're resentful of each other. Whose idea was it to bring this new roommate into the world? Your marriage is very vulnerable and easy for an outsider to invade and colonize. If we had hired a 25-year-old man who was not ugly, great with my daughter, and said yes immediately to every chore I asked him to do with a positive attitude.
I'm not getting it. I'm not getting why the audience finds this funny. Okay, well, I might say those are some smart lines, but as I said, for a joke to be funny, the context also needs to come into place because these are just superficial things. Okay, and then I'm waiting for the joke. I think what she's doing is she has ideas for jokes, but actually she doesn't get the punchline because she's talking about these things that might make you giggle like. Mhm. Now you're waiting for the big thing, and then she goes on and on. So I think it's having this going on and on and on, without actually being funny at all.
Oh, you best believe that I would eat the shit out of his butthole.
Oh no! As I said, okay, I've not watched this before, but as you notice, a few minutes ago, I talked about it. About talking about poop and come on, who's that? That's so stupid.
Every day. Every day would be an all-day nanny butthole buffet. I don't care
Yeah. Ah, holy cow!
if his 25-year-old butt cheeks got all nervous and
Now she's milking it. She had when she talked about eating the poop. Now she thought that the people bought it. Now that's the thing she's going to milk until.
clenched up and closed on my face like elevator doors. I would get in there and just
Uh,
like Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
no, this is like some middle school comedy or something that those boys saying like 11-year-old kids, especially boys like 11-year-old boys. These are the kind of things they talk about. This nasty nonsense. But just look at her. If you just become non-biased and you walk in and you find me post at this point, what did you think when you saw this? This is the kind of nonsense it is.
Lately, I have been ruminating a lot over this one time I hooked up with this dude, and in the middle of kissing, I felt the responsibility to stop and say, hey, I should really let you know now before we go any further that I'm on my period. And he was like, oh, well, then let's make a fucking mess, Allie. To this day, that is the most romantic thing anybody
No, that's just
has
wrong.
ever said to me. I think about it when I feel down and ugly and no good. All I have to do is remember that there was once a man out there who was willing to yank out my tampon and replace it with his dick. It made me feel
Holy
beautiful.
crap! What is this? Is she being for real? Let me just check the title again. Netflix is a joke. She's actually on Netflix with this kind of garbage. You know, okay, I understand there are some very funny, or some top funny female comedians who are actually have very good jokes. But as I said, and we were discussing with some other guys, just because you are a woman and you start talking nasty and being vulgar and talk about like she's talking about tampons and being just nasty, pure nasty, it doesn't make it funny. Even as you had a few seconds earlier, some people are just, when you can hear the audience reacting, they're just like they're just they're just like confused. How should we react? But then they are like, okay, okay. Then they build up. You can just listen to this because they are wondering. Okay, we are at a comedy show. If we don't respond, is that it's automatic? It's something in. I'm not a psychologist, but I know it's something that happens. Okay, you're at a comedy club. You're expecting jokes. And then the jokes are just nasty, and you're like, oh, okay, you just have to go along because that's just pure nasty. And as I said, just because you're a woman, and I understand also some male comedians have a very foul mouth and talk about nasty things, but I think there's some a few women who think that just because you're a woman and you can talk about nasty stuff and poop and tampons. There are some who think that is the crowd will be entertained by it, but it's just disgusting. It's not a joke. The whole point of being a comedian is to be funny, but talking about tampons in that kind of manner is not funny.
Anybody has ever said to me, I think about it when I feel down and ugly and no good. All I have to do is remember that there was once a man out there who was willing to yank out my tampon and replace it with his dick. It made me feel beautiful. Beautiful! There is nothing more empowering and truly feminist than what that man said that day. That is straight up hashtag I'm with her. When my husband and I were trying to have a kid, a lot of people were like, oh my God, that's so hot. You guys doing a lot of fucking? No, dude, that's shit you do in your 20s, okay? When you're in your 30s and you've been trying to get pregnant for a while, it gets very clinical. You pee on these ovulation strips that tell you when the eggs are dropping. It tells you when it's Easter time. And I would only fuck him when it was Easter time. Outside, it was like only 4 days out of the month. And outside of that, I would be like, we're not fucking. I need you to save it. I want your sperm to be as pent up and as angry and rapey as possible. So that when they come out, it's like, release the Kraken. And they just come out like a bunch of angry refugees escaping a dictatorship, you know? And, yeah, and most of the time, like, we wouldn't even have sex because I was so tired when I would come home and see the smiley face on the ovulation strip, and I'd be like, okay, it's go time. And I would just give my husband a hand job most of the time, and he would close his eyes immediately. I know what that means, okay? When somebody closes their eyes during sex, it's not because they're in such ecstasy with you that they need to close their eyes. When somebody closes their eyes during sex, it's because they're literally trying to shut the image of your face out of their head and instead project two Latina lesbians that they saw earlier that day on Red.
This is just, you know, I'm trying to give her a benefit of doubt, but now she has this, she starts out well, and then you're expecting something, and then she goes on with the nasty stuff, taking a twist and twist. You know, she's setting up something, and you're waiting for the punchline, but instead she goes on. As I said, it seems these are like real things in her life that she's complaining about, and she's hiding behind this comic act. No, as a joke. She's just even looking at her, you can see she's just taking this from her brain and expressing it. It's not. I don't think she's here actually to make jokes. She's here to just remove all the baggage from her mind. Right? This is not comedy.
Onto the back of their eyelids, which is fine by me because then he doesn't have to see the expression on my face that says, "Please hurry the fuck up." And then when he was about to finish, I could always tell because the indication is very universal when a man is about to finish. It's when they get that stupid ass look on their face where they look like they just got bit by a zombie. Just...
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Yeah,
And then
no.
because we're hippies, I'd be like, hey, please look me in the eye and remember to come with intention, okay? And then I would jump on him and hold onto his neck, and I would just twerk the shit out of him.
No.
some of this shit that I learned in Atlanta.
Holy cow. No.
And then I would turn upside down immediately afterwards
Holy cow.
to make sure all of that Harvard nectar would just drain inside of me.
This is not funny.
That's right, because I don't want to work anymore.
Ah. Too painful to watch. What the hell is that? Wow, it's so painful that actually now even watching through her pain, now it becomes funny at the end because wow, someone is actually doing that to get paid, huh? And this is Netflix. Wow, if this is, I wonder. Okay, if this is the top notch, this person is in Netflix. This is what they are doing. They are having specials with Netflix. If this is the best now, because it says the best of Wong, I wonder what is happening in those underground comedy clubs. What kind of garbage is going on there? Because if from that, because I understand for you to rise to be a top comedian, you rise from those small bars and clubs, and now you reach the top. But I wonder what is down there. It must be. It must be somewhere. It must be mental cases because this is not funny. This is just. Wow, it has left me with a very bad image. But anyway, wow, it will take some time for me to come back. Just go in the comments and let me know what you think about this. Eesh. Till next time, be safe.